Hey everyone, it's Heather Marzigliano from Grace on Broadway. I am also one of the co-founders of the Bells and Bow Tour with Pam Haskins, and I have a bit of a cold, so my voice is a little bit odd today, sorry. I signed up to be here with you guys every Wednesday at 4, and I thought it'd be fun if we started at the beginning of a project and worked together all the way through the end. So today is our first day here, so hey, thanks for letting me be here with you guys. And we're gonna start, and we're gonna go over, you know, how I start a project and kind of see where we go from there. What I decided to work on with you guys for the first time is I have this really cute little table. It's like one of these little accent tables right here. It's cute, but it's like super chipped up. It opens, which is fun. So we are going to kind of get this going. I still have the price tag on it. Up there it goes. Okay, so when we get stuff like this, what is the first thing we do, right? So I'm looking at it, and when there's designs like this, even if we paint over them, sometimes there's a texture, so we're gonna have to get rid of that. Some of this old paint right here is kind of chipped up. See how it's chipped up? So that's not really on there so great. So we want to fix that a little bit, just because there's a texture to it, and I don't want that texture to stay. I want my paint to have a good surface to adhere to. And that's really not it. And if you can see, it is absolutely filthy, right? Like, we deal with tons of old furniture and we refinish them. So a lot of times we get them and they're not in the best condition and they're not clean. Even if they are in a super clean house, they still have fingerprints and all that kind of stuff on them. So we want to make sure that our surface is ready for adhesion for our paint. So the best way to do that is, first step, make sure it's super clean. So what we're going to do, I use buckets of water. I have 2. You can get these anywhere for like $1. And I use Dixie Belle White Lightning. There it is. So the technical answer is 2 heaping tablespoons for every gallon. I'm just gonna kind of shake some in there and stir it about. We certainly don't have a gallon, so I don't need 2 heaping tablespoons. Just shake some in. This will last you forever and ever and ever. So I'm gonna mix my water, get it on my rag, kind of squeegee it out. And then we're just gonna keep wiping this back. Now this water is gonna get like nasty, nasty, nasty. And this water would be gross even if this were in like the cleanest house, because your fingerprints have an oil to them. There's dust everywhere. Like, no matter what you do, things are dirty. And you just wanna make sure that we're getting them good and clean. Because whatever you're sticking your paint to, that's what your paint is adhering to. So if it slides, your paint's gonna slide. So a lot of times people say, oh, my paint's not adhering well. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a prep issue and not a paint issue. You really, really need to make sure that you're prepping your piece well. So I'm getting in all these little nooks and crannies and making sure that I'm wiping back all the gross stuff. Because this is all the stuff that's going to make our paint slide. I know this isn't the most exciting part, and I promise we'll do more than just wipe this back. But it's very important, so even on a video, I don't want to skip it. I want you guys to know how important getting things clean really is. So now I want you to see this water. So look at that, it's gross. That's disgusting, right? That's what our paint would have been sticking to. So that's why it's super important to just get in here and get it clean. So now what I do is I wipe it a second time, but this time I have clean water, a clean rag, and I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe back any of the white lightning that might be on there or anything else that we might have missed. Because again, whatever our paint sticks to is what it's adhering to. And we want it to stick and adhere to the wood or the surface and not, you know, our dirt or our gunk or our cleaner. Yeah, projects start from the beginning. So I want to always show you guys right from the beginning, because otherwise, how are you going to know where to start when you bring something home, right? So this is what we're doing. We're getting it good and clean. Now, this water should be clean. And it is for the most part. There's still a little bit of goo left, but not terrible, see? That's appropriate because we just wiped back everything, so this water's not going to be perfectly clear. But if this water was just as dirty as the water we just took off, and no matter what we were doing, we couldn't get it to be clean water, that's when you're starting to know that it's your tannins pulling up and your piece is bleeding. It's not dirt, you're bleeding. And that's when you would need Boss. That's appropriate level of dirt, so that's fine. 1 second, I just have something off camera I want to drag over. All right. Oh. So now, while this is drying, in case you weren't on before, I just want to show some of the stuff we're going to deal with next. I'm sitting because I'm exhausted. We had our first Bells and Bow tour stop this past weekend, and it was amazing. But it's making me want to sit down a little bit because I'm tired and I got a cold, but it's okay. I'm looking forward to Atlanta. See all these flowers? Now you can see them better. A lot of times, even if you go to paint over them, they'll still sort of show up in your paint. And the reason for that is because this is paint and then these are decorated on top of your base paint. So it's creating a layer. So if you paint over it, the actual layer of design is still there. So we want to make that go away. I don't want those flowers. Also, you can see, let's see if I can get close enough. Good thing I started with a light table, right? See all these like chippies and things? This is more than what I want for this table. I don't want this table to be perfect, but this is more than what I want. That's special. So I'm going to show you guys my sander that I use. I'm a team SurfPrep girl, so I use my SurfPrep sander. It was created for women. It is small, it is lightweight, it vacuums the dust into my shop vac. I have just a regular old shop vac that I got at Walmart. It is not a $1,500 dust extractor. It is literally just this cute 2.5 gallon shop vac. Here, I'm trying to get it. Sorry, I keep going off camera. This is my whole shop vac. It's even SurfPrep brand. It does the trick. You're gonna hear me vacuuming basically. I apologize for the vacuuming noise, but I want to show you guys this. So the neat thing about my sander, there's a couple of things. One, it does vacuum all the dust. It doesn't go in a bag, it goes in a vacuum. So you can sand inside. Two, the rotations are in a perfect circle. They're not in loops. So it helps you get straight off everything you need off. It's small, right? That's not huge. It doesn't weigh 1,000,000 pounds. It fits in the palm of your hand. And when you press on this lever, see it with your palm, it This is what controls going fast or slow. So see. So as you're working, you can lean on it or lift up. The other amazing thing is it comes with, this is a pad saver, and it has different abrasives. So you can put a thin abrasive, this is going to take more off. You can have a smaller pad saver, but this has a foam. See? So when we're going to go around these corners, let's see if I can show you. This foam is going to do like that, and it's going to work around these corners. Most sanders are just straight and hard, and you'd have to go like this, and then you'd have to work in here. Mine, I'm just going to be able to do that. So, do I sand every time before I paint with Dixie Belt? Absolutely not. Not even close. Not even most times, right? Dixie Belt paint is made where you do not need to sand prior. You don't. However, there are certain situations that call for some sanding. These two situations are times that call for some sanding. So that's why we're doing it on this piece. You do not have to do it on every single piece that you work on. So that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and get this stuff off. to clean up these lines, and now we don't have all that chippy mess, so it's not going to come back off. And I was able to scuff sand this flower stuff down, and I actually took off the entire bottom. I want to use, there's a couple different abrasives and pads, and I just want to go grab a different one and we can get this top up. Oh, here it is. I thought it was all the way back in my storage room. So we use the thicker pad when we want to hit around edges, and I actually have a thicker pad that can get in this nook, but I knew we didn't need that, so I just wanted to get around this edge in here. Now I just want to get this flower off a little bit more, so I'm just going to switch. Now these are called pad savers, and they're because the machine gets hot on the plate, so it protects your pads and your machine, and you don't ever want to sand without them. Okay, so now that we want to go flat, I just switched over to my flat one, and we're just going to get this flower off. Our flower's gone. Bye, flowers. So now we have some choices, right? What do we want to do with it? So now we're ready to get started. We've been here for a little bit, so I just need to know from you guys watching so we can get ready for next Wednesday. Do we want a decoupage, or do we want to add would you bend, or do we want to do both? Because I have amazing decoupage papers, so we can definitely do that. And I also have really fun would you bend moldings, so we can do that too. This, I'm back, okay. No problem, this is the SurfPrep 3x4. There it goes. It is the 3x4 electric gray. So, decoupage, would you bend, and paint. This is where we'd be at for this one. Does anyone have any thoughts on what we should do with this? Because now we're ready, we're prepped. We have cleaned, we've wiped back, we took out all the paint that was peeling, and we removed the layers of flowers. Again, normally I don't sand before I paint with Dixie Belle. Dixie Belle does not require it, but in situations like this it does. You want to do some decoupage. Okay, we can definitely do that. Both would be great. All right, I think both would be fun too, because what we could do is maybe we can add like something here and here on either side, right? So when you're looking at it, there's like a fun detail, or maybe something here. Let me pop off camera for 2 seconds and I'll grab the decoupage that I have and we can pick which sheet. Hold on 1 second. Okay guys, sorry. I just got back from New Jersey at the Edison Bells and Bow tour, and so my store's a little crazy. All right, so I have this paper. We could do that, but I think that's kind of like more vintagey than I don't know. Maybe. What else do I have? These are all by Rocycled. Oh, these are pretty. Okay. If you guys have strong opinions about any of them, let me know, because I'll pick a color and then next week we're gonna paint it and we'll do the decoupaging and all that kind of stuff. So this is a project we're all doing together. This one has a rooster. Let me see. So once I see an aspect of a decoupage, then I want to see if it's going to fit, to see if we should even bother. So the rooster would be the part of this page that I would want. And as you can see, he is too tall for our table. So I don't think the rooster is going to work. We'd have to go long way with him, and I don't want to do that. So no to the rooster. By the way, this is my real process. So even if you guys weren't here, I kind of go through things like this and then end up with whatever's going to work best. This one could be super pretty. I have a feeling this one's going to win because look at this fun bee design. Can you guys see it? Isn't that pretty? And I think it's going to fit on our table. Oh, it will. Look. I think this is going to be a winner. But let's just double check 2 more pages and make sure. I'm going to put that one over there since it might work better. This one could work too, so you guys can vote. This one's very pretty. So this one has these flowers, can you see? Which can fit on the table this way. So I'll turn it this way so you can see what I'm talking about. So we could paint the table and then cut out the flowers and just add them like that. So that's a contender. These are blueprints, which are super fun, but I think our table is much more feminine than blueprints. So, oh, I love these birds. And they have a nest. And they would fit. Would they fit? Yeah, they could fit. Yeah. So they could be cute, or let's see. This is the final sheet that I have. It's these bluebirds. And they would also mostly fit. I think most of you guys said you like these birds, right? So let's choose these birds. They win. Let's see. how do the papers transfer? So we're gonna use Dixie Belle's. I usually use the flat top coat to decoupage them on. They're not transfers, so they don't like go on the same way that like Prima transfers do. It's a decoupage paper. So it's a little bit different, but you can still add some fun stuff to your pieces. All right, so now this is all part of the process, right? We've cleaned, we've prepped, now we've decided that we like this paper. So now we have to pick a color for the table. Let me see. We've been on for a bit, so I think I'm gonna let us kind of stop here, and then next week on, today's Wednesday, yes, Wednesday at 4 o'clock, I will be back and we will pick a color, we'll get it painted, and we'll go from there. And every week on Wednesday, we will do a little bit more and a little bit more of this process until our table is completely done. You like the first birds and the second flowers. Oh my goodness. I like all of them. But this one got a bunch of hearts and likes. So let's just go with this one. We'll just roll with this one. We can always use those other ones on different projects. I'm down for all of that. So I just like to do one project all the way through in a series. I think it's super fun. For those of you who don't know me, I am Heather Rocycled from Grace on Broadway, which is in Northeast Pennsylvania. I've been a Dixie Belle retailer since 2014. I'm one of the original retailers. I have 3 premier locations, and I'm also one of the founders of the Belles and Beaux Tour. Our New Jersey stop just concluded, and our next stop is in Conyers, Georgia on January 18th. So this is decoupage paper from Rocycled. You can find it on Zazzle.com, and that's where I got it from. Royce is a sweetheart. She is also a swag bag sponsor for the tour, and everyone who came got a piece of decoupage paper in their swag bag. So it's awesome. Hold on one second, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I have a cold, which is why my voice sounds kind of crazy. So next week, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Chalkpaint 101, we are going to start painting and decoupage. Super excited. You guys picked decoupaging, and I'm going to see you next week. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you, Linda. All right, I'll see you guys soon.